Hello there everybody, Subutter92 aka Nightmare, and welcome back to Steins Gate 0, and we... the mad scientist that became the sad scientist got captured by a bad scientist just because he secretly just wanted to be a glad scientist, and the only one that can probably save him is the freaking dad scientist, Daru. Let's just throw ourselves back in, because I'm just... That's right, we're back in Maho's perspective. Her head hurt. Maho knelt down, closed her eyes, and bit her lips to shut out the pain. There was an annoying noise in her head that wouldn't go away. It made the headache worse. No matter how much she covered her ears, she couldn't block it out. She wanted to scream from the pain, but she held it in because she thought it would only make her headache worse. She could hear a voice mixed in with the noise. It was Dr. Alexis's.
警戒魔法。君はどんな手段を使ってでも、リンタロウ・オカベが抱えている秘密を暴くんだ。でないと、彼を殺さなくてはいけなくなる。そんなのは嫌だろ?
Wow, fuck you!
君もリンタロウのことを随分と気にかけていたじゃないか。散々私やクリスが煽ったからね。君にその気などなくてもついつい意識してしまうものさ。それが人の心理だ。彼を助ける意味でも彼の持つ情報を引き出してほしい。そうしたら私はリンタロウを我が研究室に無条件で迎え入れてあげてもいい。魔法、彼について知り得たことはすべて私に報告しなさい。
This is his treatment that he forced on Maho.
彼の未来は君の手にかかっていると言ってもいい。
The voice and the noise were extremely unpleasant. She couldn't really understand what the voice was saying. She could hear him speaking, but her brain refused to understand the meaning of the words. But it didn't matter either way. Maho had done something terrible to Okabe Rintaro. She'd sold him out to Dr. Alexis in Stratfor, and the fact that she knew it just made her guilt worse. She wanted to disappear from the world altogether.
Maho-san?
She was on a busy street in Akihabara in early summer. She was leaning on the side of a building in the shade when she heard someone call her name.
やっぱりMaho-sanだ。
Hey, Mayuri.
Mayuri-san.
She didn't expect to see Mayuri here, so she didn't know how to respond. She just looked back and stared.
具合悪いんですか？大丈夫よ。
Come on, Maho.
オカリンを見ませんでしたか？え。
Maho went completely still. Mayuri's innocent question reminded her of her own stupidity and cowardice.
どうして？
Her voice was shaking.
オカリン、昨日から連絡つかなくて。お家にも帰ってないし、電話も出ないし、メールや LINE にも返事来ないんです。ダル君は心配しすぎだって言うんだけど、なんだか胸騒ぎがするのです。 だから今日は学校を早退してこの辺りをずっと探してました。
It was still only July, but it was pretty hot. She'd been wandering around all of Akihabara in this heat. Shina Mayuri was a kind, pure-hearted girl. That was the impression that Maho had. She would never betray someone, or get jealous, or let someone use her.
知りたい？え？
Mayuri leaned forward.
真帆さん、オカリンのこと何か知ってるんですか？もし知ってるなら教えてください。お願いします。
She bowed deeply.
そうか。
And then she realized, and then she wished she hadn't. Mayuri was in love with Okabe Rintaro. A dull pain ran down her temples.
君もリンタロウのことを随分と気にかけていたじゃないか。
She could hear the noise in her head. Just tell Mayuri everything. Then have this innocent girl tell you how horrible you are. Maybe you'll feel better then. The idea raced through Maho's mind. Even as she knew it was wrong, she tried to hold back her headache as she opened her mouth.
ゆうべ深夜岡部さんと一緒だったの。そうなんですか。それでオカリンは今どこに？
Come on, Maho. Maho ignored her question.
岡部さんは昨日私にこんな話をしてくれたわ。
No.
彼が経験してきた別の世界において椎名真由里さん、あなたは何度も死んだんですって。
Don't tell her.
何度やっても助けられずあなたは死に続けた。
Oh God, Maho. You can't tell her this.
その悪夢のようなループから抜け出すためにあなたを救うために。
It was like another person was speaking using Maho's mouth.
岡部さんはクリスのことを犠牲にしたんだって。見殺しにしたんだって。
Oh God, Maho.
そんな話をしてくれた。
Oh no.
タイムマシンを作りクリスをもう一度救おうとすればまたあの頃に逆戻りしてしまう。
Hurting her. But the words didn't stop.
岡部さんはそのことをひどく恐れている。あなたを必死で守ろうとしている。ここはあなたを守るために他の多くのものを犠牲にして選択された世界なのよ。あなたは何も知らされていないだろうけど。嘘。そんな。
Oh, damn it.
オカリン。
Mayuri was too shocked to speak. It looked like she was about to cry at any instant. Suddenly, Mayuri turned around and started to walk away with slumped shoulders. Even from behind her, Maho could tell she was having trouble walking straight. The truth was so cruel that confronting it threatened her very identity. That's how it seemed to Maho. Maho was still in a trance. It felt like there was a fog covering everything she saw. It was all out of focus, like a mirage. If someone told her it was a dream, she would easily believe it. The same was true of her own mind. She knew she should feel worse about what she just told Mayuri, but while she realized she'd heard her, she felt no emotion. That was probably why she was able to say something so awful. Her brain was fucked with! And then the phone in her pocket began to vibrate. Amadeus? She looked and saw it was from Amadeus, from Kurisu. She felt a small, thin needle prick her paralyzed heart. She couldn't answer it. How could she? She stared at the LCD screen, unable to move her fingers even a centimeter. She couldn't let Kurisu see her like this, but even so, it felt wrong to just stay here. Mahou decided to go after Mayuri. But by the time she made it to the overpass, Mayuri was already gone. Since she was right in front of the station, there were many people around, and it would have been impossible to find her. Damn it.
なぜ私の前に現れたの。私に声なんてかけなければ傷つかずに済んだのに。私はもう以前の私ではなくなってしまったのよ。
She looked down over the station from the overpass and whispered to herself. And then she saw someone in a distinctive outfit approaching her. Agari? They were wearing a black motorcycle suit and black full-face helmet despite the heat. She thought it might have been a cosplayer, but instead of trying to take pictures, the people nearby were avoiding them. Given a closer look, the person appeared to be a woman. Even Mahou could tell that she had incredible proportions. The woman walked under the overpass and vanished from Mahou's view. And then she came up the stairs. And she came right toward Mahou. Mahou quickly looked away, like the other pedestrians, and tried to run away. But before she could, the woman in the motorcycle suit ran over and wordlessly grabbed her hand. There was a pain in her cheek. She was caught off guard and staggered to the ground. At first, she didn't know what had happened. She rubbed her aching cheek, and only then did she realize that the woman in the motorcycle suit had slapped her. Oh. She could hear a muffled female voice from within the helmet. Oh, scheisse. The voice was very calm, which only terrified Mahou more. The professor. Wait, you don't work with Alexis, do you? Because she was wearing a helmet, Mahou couldn't read her facial expression. Since the visor was lowered, she couldn't even see her eyes. There was no answer to her question. Instead, the woman looked up to the sky, as if she'd noticed something. Mahou looked up too. For a moment, it seemed as if a black shadow crossed the windows of the building. Oh god. She could hear a helicopter. It was close, and that's a gun! How long had it been there? She hadn't noticed it at all. And then she felt the air around her change. The pedestrians were all looking toward the station in fear and shock. She could hear people saying things like, "What's that? Are they filming a TV show? Some kind of cosplay event?" Something was going on at the station. Mahou stood up and looked too. She found herself whispering the same thing as the others. Oh boy. There were 2 trucks painted a deep military green parked outside the station. Men were coming out of them, dressed in camo and carrying weapons. At first, she thought it might have been the self-defense force, but the men weren't Japanese. It was hard to believe that what she was seeing was taking place in Japan. The men in camo disappeared into the alleyways as everyone watched from a safe distance. They were heading toward Radicon. Oh no. Mao had heard from Rintaro yesterday that the time machine was there.
まさかストラト4
Crap! Or Russia? Or perhaps another country's military? Were they here because Maho had told Alexis what she'd learned from Rintaro? As soon as the thought crossed her mind, she was hit with another terrible headache. It was all her fault. Everything was her fault. Until a moment ago, everything had seemed so hazy. But now she felt crushed by overwhelming guilt. Kabe was right, and the Third World War was going to begin here in Akihabara. It would be because she gave the information he shared with her to Stratfor. She suddenly realized that the girl who threatened to kill her had run down the stairs and toward the station. Mao never did figure out who she was. And then her phone started to vibrate again. It was from Kurisu. She wanted to get away from the guilt, so this time she picked up the phone.
先輩クリス大丈夫ですか何が一体どうしちゃったんですかどうもしないわだって泣いてるじゃないですか
Oh. Only then did she realize that her eyes were overflowing with tears. Fog over her mind was now totally gone, and all that was left was the guilt, the regret, and the headaches.
頭が痛いの
彼の未来は君の手にかかっていると言ってもいい。
Can we kill you? Please? She heard the noise again.
岡部をどうしたんです岡部さんのことなんてどうでもいいでしょ殺そうとしてたじゃないですか私見たんですよ私のことは放っておいてそういうわけにはいきません放っておいてよあなたには勝てなかった私はどれだけやってもクリスにかなわないねえクリス私はあなたのことを尊敬している私より年下だけど大した科学者だと思うわでも心の底ではこう思ってたのよどうして私の前に現れたのどうしてあと10年先に現れてくれなかったのどうしてあと10年後に現れてくれなかったのあなたがいなければ私はもっと平凡な日々を送っていたはずなのにこんな醜い感情になんか支配されずに済んだのにって私はあなたに常識を破壊されっぱなしなの死んでまであなたの存在が私につきまとうのあなたの死を心から悼みたいのにそれができない越えられない壁としてあなたが立ちはだかり続けていてプライドと意地が邪魔をしてしまうのそんなところにつけ込まれて私は一番信頼していた人にまで裏切られて私を信頼してくれた友達を裏切ってしまったもう私頭がぐちゃぐちゃよだから放っておいてよ先輩
She was getting far too emotional. Normally, she'd never behave like this. She couldn't stop herself. The hell? She heard an explosion in the distance. The people around her started to scream, panic, and run. Oh, God! The flames from the explosions were coming from the direction the men in camo had gone. Did they do it? The helicopter sounds were getting louder. Glimpses of their dark, agile bodies had flashed in and out of Maho's vision for a little while now. And then she started to hear loud gunfire. It was more than one or two people shooting. There was a battle going on between many people taking place here in front of Akihabara Station. It was like the beginning of a war. What Rintaro said was true. Amane Suzuha might be near the time machine. She might be caught up in that battle. She wondered about the woman in the motorcycle suit, too. She started to stagger forward. She still didn't know what she was planning. She needed to take responsibility for what she'd done. The elevators in Radicon were broken. Mao had no choice but to take the stairs to the roof. But maybe the power had been cut, because the lights were off on every floor. She could hear sporadic sounds of gunfire from the floors above. Strangely, nobody came running past her to escape. There were several shops in the building, and of course, there should have been customers there. But despite the fact that the elevators weren't working, had they all evacuated earlier? Were they all hiding somewhere and waiting for the terror to end? That was what she thought about as she sweated her way up the stairs. Just before she reached the roof, she saw someone for the first time. She was sitting on the stairs, cradling her knees. For some reason, her voice was muffled, but it did seem to be a woman's voice. Her head seemed big and round in the darkness. It was a moment before she realized that it was a full-face helmet. That was when she realized it was the woman in the motorcycle suit from before. What happened to Mayuri? Oh. I got scared for a moment. She seemed like a totally different person than the woman she'd met before. All she did was sob and cry for her mother.
ねえ、何が起きているの？ママ、どこ？ママ。ねえ！
She shouted louder, and only then did the woman realize she was there. But she didn't even stand up.
ママがいなくなっちゃった。タイムマシン破壊されて。
Time machine was destroyed.
あなたのママって誰のこと？天音鈴葉さん？違うよ。ママって言ったらまゆりママに決まってるじゃん。
Mao's blood ran cold when she heard the name Mayuri.
まゆりさんがここに。
If that was true, she would have come here after she learned the truth from Maho.
私のせいだ。
Maho put her hands to her head.
私があんなことを言わなければ、まゆりさんは。
The woman in the motorcycle stood up and approached her menacingly.
そうだ。お前が岡部倫太郎から情報を引き出して、それで事態が一気に動き出しちゃったんだ。ママを返してよ。
The girl grabbed her by the collar and lifted her off the ground. Wasn't anything she could say. When she didn't answer, the woman let go and fell to the ground, crying. It'd be so much easier if she just killed me here. Her mind was in such chaos that she couldn't stop herself from thinking it. She couldn't stay calm at all. The last thing she clung to was...
Chris. Senpai.
The AI made from Makise Kurisu's memory data. Maybe she was still thinking about their last discussion because she seemed upset. She wasn't saying anything, so Maho gave up the last of her pride.
Chris. どうしたらいい？いろいろなことが起こりすぎて、私一人じゃもうどうにもできない。自分のしてしまったことなんだから、せめて責任を取りたいの。
And then she realized that she was still being proud and corrected herself.
私は
She asked herself, what do I want to do?
私は岡部さんを助けたい。まゆりさんも助けたい。二人に謝って許してもらいたい。それとクリス、あなたのことも助けたいの。だから力を貸してお願いよ。先輩が私に助言を求めるなんて。
Kurisu's eyes were wide. That's right. Her pride had kept her from ever asking Kurisu for help before. It was the same with Kurisu, too. And knowing Kurisu's personality, if Maho asked for help, she'd use every bit of brain power she had to give it.
ねえ、教えてちょうだい。あなたなら解決策を提示できるでしょう。
That's why they said Makise Kurisu was a genius. She was a woman who made the impossible possible. Maho waited for Kurisu's answer. Last hope. The last thing left in Pandora's box. She waited for Kurisu to give her the answer.
無理ですよ。
Maho was struck dumb for a moment. Then she realized how selfish she was being and hated herself for it. She'd expected too much of Kurisu and tried to put all the burden on her. Just a few moments ago, she'd been the one who rejected Kurisu.
そうよね。その答えは当然だわ。ごめんね、クリス。私、あなたにひどいことを言ったのに、あなたが無条件で協力してくれると勝手に思い込んで。無条件には協力します。今なんて。先輩に頼まれたら断ることなんてできませんよ。岡部や椎名真由里さんのことを助けたいのも同じ気持ちです。でもじゃあ気持ちとしては協力したいんですが、残念ながら私が協力することで先輩が不利な状況に追い込まれます。私はストラト4に常にモニタリングされてるんです。
Crap.
常に。ええ、私が誰かとこうして対話をしている間、ストラト4に無条件で情報が送信されてしまう。アマデウスのアプリにはそういう隠し機能があるんです。
Can we disable that? Even Maho hadn't known that existed.
だから先輩が岡部を助けに行こうと思ってもレスキネン教授に筒抜けになってしまうんです。じゃあどうすれば。でも逆にそれを利用して手を打てます。
Set up a trap?
先輩、私を信頼してくれますか。先輩、ええ、あなただけが頼りを。あり
りがとうございます。
Alright.
ちなみにこの対話内容もバッチリ盗み聞きされてるはずです。
そんな。じゃあもしあなたが私に協力するのがバレたら。
パターンとしては3つ。
ん？
サーバーからデータを移動させて隔離状態にされるか、または古いバージョンの記憶データで上書きされてしまうか。
Well, shit.
最悪の場合には私という存在そのものを消されるかもしれませんね。
そんな。
Let's avoid the deletion, please.
大丈夫です。あなたは必ず自分で立ち上がれる人だから。
私のことなんかどうでもいいわ。あなたの心配をしているのよ。
私はただのデータですよ。でもありがとうございます。
The Kurisu on the screen bowed and smiled.
私は真帆先輩と一緒に研究できたことを誇りに思います。
何よ、その根性の別れみたいな言い方。やめなさいよ。
もう会えないかもしれませんから。
私はあなたのことが嫌いよ。そうやっていつだって私を置いて先に行ってしまうのだから。
But that's who Makise Kurisu was. When Mao had asked for her help, both she and Kurisu should have been prepared. That's why.
いつか必ず私はあなたに追いついてやるわ。それどころか追い越してやるから。それまで待ってなさい。
はい。
Oh. Kurisu smiled once more and disappeared from the screen. Maho wiped away her tears and thwopped the crying girl next to her on the helmet. Huh?
いつまで泣いているの？あなたはまゆりさんを助けたいんでしょ。だったら私に協力して。
We're teaming up?
まず岡部さんを助けるわ。彼なら今の事態を何とかする方法を提示してくれるはず。でも知ってるの？プラトフォーのアジトがどこにあるのか。
Can we get, Malika's help?
私は知らない。私だって知らないわ。
But Maho grabbed the girl by the hand and helped her up, then raced down the stairs.
知らないけどすぐに私の可愛い後輩が調べて教えてくれる。
She told me to believe in her. Makise Kurisu wouldn't betray me. I can't do it. As soon as she left Radicon, she got a message on her Rhine. The gunfire was continuing. As she hurried away, she looked down at her phone. Oh. Okabe is in the basement of Tokyo Denki. I just learned this now. I followed their monitoring to find their location. Take care of Okabe for me. Teach that damn pervert of a professor what happens to peeping toms who watch me all the time. When she read it, she smiled despite everything that was going on.
ありがとうクリス。
Good job, Kurisu.
ありがとう。
She clutched the phone tightly to her chest, but then she quickly changed gears.
ストラト4のアジトがどこか分かったわ。
Genius! Mao shivered at the ice in her words. She felt a bottomless madness coming from the woman in the motorcycle suit. But for now, she had to cooperate with her. There was no way she could get Rintaro back from Alexis on her own.
行きましょう。
She needed to take responsibility for the future she'd created, to avoid that cruel future. Mao ran through the streets of Akihabara, where a war was already beginning. Oh. Oh dear. A voice. I could hear a voice.
岡部さん
Someone was calling my name. I slowly woke up and turned toward the voice.
岡部さん
Maho was standing in the darkness. She had a smile on her face that was somehow lonely and somehow sad.
ごめんなさいもうあなたの前には現れないわ私がそばにいたら私はまたあなたを裏切ってしまうかもしれないからねえこんな私の身勝手な頼みを聞いてほしいどうかシュタインズゲートを目指してあなたが捕らえられている間に世界はひどいことになってしまったまゆりさんも鈴葉さんも行方不明なの
How are you connected to my head right now?
私とかがりさんはあなたを助けるためにストラト4のアジトに行ったんだけどかがりさんはそこで亡くなったわ何人かを道連れにしてね
Wait, what?
レスキネル教授にだけは逃げられてしまったアマデウスも消されてしまったこんなのってないわよねでも今希望はあなただけなのお願いあなた一人に託すなんてひどいと思うけれどシュタインズゲートに必ずたどり着いてそれじゃあね岡部さんさよなら
What the? I woke up on top of blankets laid out on the floor of a hospital. Huh? The rooms and even the halls outside were overflowing with wounded people. There weren't enough beds, so there were blankets placed on the floor. Where was I? I thought I was back to the other world line, with the war. But I wasn't. According to the news on TV, there had been a terror attack in Akihabara. A special forces group from another country had gone on a rampage, and it was like something out of a war. The incident had come to an end, and the mystery special forces unit disappeared, but many were dead or wounded after the battle. I didn't really remember how I got here. Last thing I remembered was being locked up and horribly tortured by Alexis. My whole body ached, in fact. Wait, did she actually succeed in saving me?
岡部さんさよなら
And then I remembered what Maho had said to me in that dream. Was that real? Maho had saved me? And had she mentioned Kaguri? I patted down my pockets and found my phone was still there. Amadeus is gone. I tried to call Mayuri. That dream was real. Mayuri was missing. That was impossible. I'd chosen this world line so that Mayuri would survive. If nothing else, it was guaranteed that she'd make it to 2036. She couldn't die today in 2011. But no matter how many times I called, she didn't pick up. I forced myself to stand up and leave the hospital room. I went out to the roof. It seemed I was at the Ochanamizu hospital where Fubuki had stayed before. The morning sky was amazingly clear. I could see Akihabara in the far distance. There were pillars of smoke rising up. I shivered at the strange sight. Even from here, I could tell how fierce the battle must have been. The world's history was proceeding as John Titor had prophesied. I tried calling Mayuri again from the roof, but nobody picked up. My next move was to call Daru out of desperation.
もしもし、オカリン。よかった、生きてた。
お前こそよく無事だったな。
ラボの近くは案外静かだったんで。
今どこだ？
逃亡中、秋葉からは脱出したよ。
On the run?
そうか。
フェイリスタンとルカシとは連絡取れた。二人とも避難したってさ。なあオカリン、鈴葉とマユシが連絡つかないんだ。昨日の事件でタイムマシンも跡形もなく壊されちゃったし、鈴葉の語った未来よりも世界の動きがずっと早いよ。
So it wasn't a dream after all. While I was unconscious, she'd said her goodbye.
なあ、誰？俺はさ、普通に生きることすら許されないのかな。こうなることは覚悟してたさ。シュタインズゲートではなく、第三次世界大戦が訪れる世界線を選んだのは俺なんだ。だからって俺が生き残ってみんないなくなるなんて、こんなのあんまりだろ。
Were the laws of God never going to forgive me no matter what? Was it that much of a sin to escape the wheel of fate? It was. Why not just curse me?
僕はタイムマシン作るよ。
誰？
作るしかないだろう。これで終わりにできるかよ。オカリンはどうする？
The smoke was still rising over Akihabara. I stared at it in shock.
俺
The tears welled up. I fell to the ground. I didn't have the strength to stand up. I couldn't answer Daru's question. No matter how hard you try, no matter how much you work to change things, everything converges back to the way God wants it. You're wasting your time struggling against it, Daru. I'm so tired. I need to sleep a little. There's still a few years before the Third World War really begins. And there's 14 years before I die. I'll live my life averting my eyes from reality, and not wasting my time with a fight that can't be won. That's the only end that's fitting for a person like me. I'm sorry, Maho. I'm sorry, Mayuri. I'm sorry, Kurisu. Forgive me for giving up here. Oh. Gehenna's Stigma completed. Extra menu was added to the title menu. CG library menu was added to the extra menu. Sound library, movie library, tips, new item unlocked in tips. Oh, I guess I got my first ending. Clear list? Gehenna Stigma. Holy shit, I've been playing for 17.5 hours? God! I got almost half the tips. What's the new item that was unlocked? Phone wave? Future gadget number... Oh, wait a minute. Future gadget number 8. A microwave oven that can be remote controlled by a cell phone. By chance, it gained the ability to send emails, messages that could go back into the past. After he arrived in the beta world line, Okabe destroyed it and disposed of the remains. Ghost in the Ball. Feature gadget number 7. A large ball with 12 Type 6 Braun tube TVs, all with their screens facing outwards. In between TVs are multiple miniature CMOS cameras. The cameras are pointed directly outwards and linked to the TVs directly behind them. The result is what it looks like, a polygon model of a ball that uses optical camouflage technology. At present, it's the best thing the Future Gadget Lab has created, but it's so big that it's a hassle to keep around. The name comes from the popular SF anime, movie, and manga franchise known as Ghost in the... How the hell did I not get that the first time? Sealum Saber! Future gadget number 6. A stick filled with red chemicals sealed them with a handle added to allow it to be used as a sword. We revolutionized the industry by creating glowing fake blood, an idea no one's ever had before. The Future Gadget Lab can do more than just work with hardware. We're also chemists too. The name comes from the famous Hollywood movie series, Spark Wars. Future Curry. One of the items of the Go-Go Curry menu. This is an extra large portion of rice, pork loin katsu, chicken katsu, hot dogs, fried shrimp, a tartar sauce, and a boiled egg. Okay, the fact that it's got tartar sauce, no thank you. I, do not like that stuff. If you guys like it, that's fine. Bamboo Helicam. Future gadget number 2. A bamboo helicopter equipped with a CCD camera. The CCD camera is loaded inside the propeller of the bamboo copter, allowing for unpowered aerial photography. However, since the camera spins at an incredible rate, watching the footage may make you sick. The naming comes from the anime 22 Emon. Future gadget number 1. The first glorious invention of the Future Gadget Lab. It consists of a TV remote jammed inside a toy ray gun. You pull the trigger of the gun, you can change the channel of the TV as if you were shooting at it. However, the only button that works is the channel button. The others, such as volume control, don't work at all. TV must be manually powered on and off. The name comes from one of Japan's most famous giant robot anime, Mobile Brave Gunbam. Thank you for that. Okay, movie library. It's got the opening theme! Animelo Summer Live 2015, The Gate. Huh. Oh. Gotten ourselves quite a few. Okay, let's go away from the depressing ones, shall we? Holy crap. At least now I know. Oopatoons! Okay, I like that. Thank you. Okay, well guys, Looks like I cleared one of the endings. Fuck you, Alexis. Okay, so, we saw what the decisions I made led us to. Something extremely even more depressing. And... clearly, I'm not good at decision making. As you can plainly see where we ended up with. So now, I guess now I just gotta figure out how to do the other ones. I guess I'll go ahead and hit. Fuck. Man. Well, I'm not entirely sure what I'm gonna have to do now, but I'm pretty sure some of you guys in the comments might help me out a little bit here. Or I might just go pop over to the Discord and ask for some help there. You know, non-spoiler help. Okay, I'm not entirely sure which, where I need to go next to get the other endings, but if you guys could help me out in the comments down below or in the Discord, I would greatly appreciate that. I heard that you actually need like a guide to get some of these out, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, seriously? Okay. In that case, that's where I'm going to end it. This ended up being a little bit shorter than I intended, but I wasn't expecting to reach an ending this early. I say early, even though we've gone at it for like 17 hours, but... Game time, it says 15, but whatever. Anyway, that's where I'm going to end it, so if you guys like this, be sure to let me know. I'm depressed slightly after that ending. And now, time to discover how to unlock the other endings. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll just... else I conquer, I'm sad. Hello there everybody, Sabato92 here, and if you like this video, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. And hey, if you guys like my content, then maybe you'd like to check out another channel who I think deserves equal attention. So click that nightmare emblem and check out that channel, or go to the links in the description down below. Once again, thank you, and I'll see you guys in the next video.